Did Blake Lively just threaten Taylor Swift? Is this the reason Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan Reynolds? And Taylor Swift just threw some shade that karma is coming? What? Is this a reaction? Plus, I've got Jen and Miranda from the Mormon Wives, from the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on the show today, and they're spilling all sorts of dish on season 2. Lots to get into. Let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. Okay, honestly, did Blake Lively just fall out of a coconut tree? Is she crazy? Trying to extort Taylor Swift of all people? The Swifties are gonna come for you, baby. What is happening? Ryan Reynolds, get it in check, you know? This now I feel like adds a bit more context as to maybe why Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are like, Blake, we're done with you. It seems like Taylor Swift maybe now, or at least her legal team, is working with Brian Friedman, who is representing Justin Baldoni and the Wayfair parties. There's so much yumminess to get into today. And I do have the Mormon Wives on the podcast today and on Monday. Monday, I'm going to have a very special Wives Tell All episode. So I suggest you binge Secret Lives of Mormon Wives this weekend. It dropped today. I got my my very sweet package from Le Madeleine in Salt Lake City. Meta and Threads literally sent me a box of pastries from Salt Lake City all the way to Los Angeles so that I could watch the new season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. All 10 episodes are available on Hulu now. I also suggest you check out my interview with Hannah and Hagen, because that's going to add more context as this season builds up. But I suggest you at least binge the first 3 episodes of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, because they are crazy, wild, wackadoodle. I watched episode 4 and 5 this morning with my Le Madeleine. I was up at like 5 a.m. and I was like, oh, I gotta binge the new season. So I'd already I got on screeners for episodes 1 through 3. Very good, spicy, feisty, all of it. And then this morning I binged 4 and 5 with my coffee and my croissant. Croissant is how you say it? Croissant. It was delicioso. Muy delicioso. Mwah. Oui, oui. That's French, right? Oui, oui. Yeah. So what a time. Check out Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, out now. And then at the end of this episode, I have Jen and Miranda. I'm sitting down with them. You can watch this episode, or you can watch my interview with them before watching the new season, because it's more of just like teasers about the new season. And then obviously next week is when we'll have spoilers. So I suggest you watch at least the first 3 episodes this weekend. Okay, let's talk about Blake and Baldoni and Taylor. It's your bestie, Miss Westy, Taylor Swiftie. But first, I just wanted to remind you guys, I'm going on tour this summer. Dallas, Phoenix, Philly, Toronto, Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles. Come on out. Get your tickets now at nofilterlive.com. Go to nofilterlive.com. I have Colonel Kurtz that's going to be in my live show in Dallas. So every show is built up into 2 parts. Part 1 of the show is my tea spillers panel. So I usually have some of my friends, other content creators, sometimes journalists and reporters. They all come onto the panel and we spill tea. I wonder, where is Josh Boswell from the Daily Mail? He's been covering this. I need to check to see where Josh is at. Maybe I'll invite him into the live show. He would be fun on the panel since he's been digging up all the tea. Oh, he's based in Los Angeles. Okay. Maybe I'll reach out to him. I got to have him back on the show, too. I can only imagine there's more to come. He's the one that broke all the news about the sham Van Zandt lawsuit. So Dallas, I'm going to have Colonel Kurtz. I'm trying to get Andy from Popcorn Planet. I think he might end up doing my Phoenix show. We're trying to work on scheduling with everybody right now. Obviously, different dates, different cities. Everybody's got lots of moving pieces. But Colonel Kurtz will be in my show in Dallas. In Philly, I'm going to have Giorgio Says. I'm hoping to get the Brav Bros locked down for Philly again, because I love the Brav Bros. In Brooklyn, we have Donna Bowling. In Chicago, we have Donna Bowling again, and we have Chef Stu. I'm actually doing Brooklyn and Chicago back-to-back that same weekend. So, I mean, if anybody's feeling like they want a yummy weekend trip, you can come with us. We're going to start in New York, and then we're going to bounce on over to Chi-Town. So if you love Donna Bowling, if you love Stu, that'd be great. Seattle, I have the Sidley twins. They have lots of tea on Meghan and Harry and the royal family. And not only that, but they've promised to spill some exclusive tea from when they were working with Paul Feig. So I'm telling you, all of these shows are going to have yummy secrets revealed, lots of insider tea. We're not live streaming the show, so I suggest it is summer, so you can, and I made sure we picked destination cities so that you can make a fun weekend out of it. It's going to be a blast. The VIP package comes with free merch. It comes with exclusive early access to get premiere seating. We have a pre-show meet and greet where we're also going to be doing like an intimate Q&A. It's the spilling tea happy hour is what I'm calling it, and it's going to be so fun and so yummy, and that's not going to be part of the show. But like I said, the shows are going to be jam-packed and great. So part 1 is the tea spillers, and then part 2 of the show is a special guest that I'm going to bring out on stage. So every show will have a special guest, and they may be some of your favorite housewives, they may be some of your favorite reality stars, they may be some of your favorite, just people you love to watch. Wink, wink. So stay tuned. Get your tickets now at nofilterlive.com, nofilterlive.com, Dallas, Phoenix, Philly, Toronto, Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles. Drop a comment below and let me know what tickets you bought, what cities you're coming to. That way I can give you a shout out. All right. Let's dive into all of the yummy, yummy goodness that is Blake Lively, Brian Friedman, Justin Baldoni, Taylor Swift. Okay. It's your bestie, Miss Westie. So this bombshell letter came out, and this was from Brian Friedman to Judge Lehman. Is it Lyman or Lehman? I think it's Judge Lyman. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so this bombshell letter comes out yesterday, and when I saw it, when it hit my email, I was like, OMG. OMG. And also, to be fair, this was, like, to be clear, this was not, when I say it hit my email, we have this amazing sleuth, Nikki. Nikki is the one that emails Donna and I all the court documents as soon as they hit the docket, so that we're not actually, refreshing the pages. She's on it. Shout out to Nikki. She always gets us all the documents literally the second they hit the docket. So I want to make it clear. It's not like Friedman is sending out these documents. They get filed because people are like, oh, well, Friedman is trying to play this out in the press. And I'm like, well, not really. He's not the one that leaked the CRD complaint to the New York Times. He didn't start this in the press. Anyway, here's the letter from Friedman. We're going to read through it because it was oh so yummy. But he's basically accusing Blake Lively of witness tampering and trying to get rid of evidence or trying to destroy evidence. Okay. We write. Okay. This is from Brian Friedman. He says, "Dear Judge Lehman, we write in response to the letter filed by plaintiff and consolidated defendant Blake Lively and consolidated defendant Ryan Reynolds regarding their requested intervention in an action in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia seeking to quash the Wayfarer party's subpoena to Venable LLP." So Venable LLP, that is Taylor Swift, okay? The Wayfarer parties anticipate that Venable's motion to quash will be mooted in short order as their counsel, so these are Taylor Swift's attorneys, as their counsel and Venable, aka Taylor Swift, as her counsel and Taylor are conferring in good faith. So Brian Friedman here is telling the judge, we're actually working with Taylor Swift's team. We're talking, there's communications, and we're conferring in good faith. Right here, conferring, which means we're talking in good faith, which means our conversations seem to be going pretty well. Brian Friedman continues, however, the Lively defendant's insistence that the subpoena seeks irrelevant information is wrong, and they made sure that wrong is bold and italicized. The subpoena aims to obtain discovery relating to witness tampering. Boom. There it is. Witness tampering. We're like, what? And evidence spoliation. Boom. Witness tampering and evidence spoliation is what they're accusing Blake Lively of. Specifically, the Wayfarer party's counsel are informed and believe, based on information from a source who is highly likely to have reliable information, that 1, Miss Lively requested that Taylor Swift delete their text messages. 2, Michael Gottlieb of Wilkie Farr, counsel for the Lively defendants, contacted a Venable attorney who represents Miss Swift and demanded that Miss Swift release a statement of support from Miss Lively, intimating that if Miss Swift refused to do so, private text messages of a personal nature in Miss Lively's possession would be released. The Wayfair Parties Council are further informed and believe that a representative of Miss Swift addressed these inappropriate and apparently extortionate threats in at least one written communication transmitted to Mr. Gottlieb. It is those communications that the Wayfair parties seek to obtain by way of subpoena, as they would evidence an attempt to intimidate and coerce a percipient witness in this litigation. As stated, the Wayfair Parties Council are in active discussions with Venable to determine how to proceed. Should those discussions prove unfruitful, the Wayfair parties will either oppose the motion to quash or withdraw their current subpoena in favor of an amended subpoena seeking only the communications in question. So Friedman says, hey, we're trying to work with Taylor's team. We're talking to them now, and should things go well, we should be all good and kosher. We just want these text messages, but he's at least giving more details as to why they want these messages. He's saying it's because there is evidence of witness tampering. There is evidence of some sort of alleged coercion. When they say they have a highly reliable source, I'm assuming that source is likely somebody on Taylor Swift's legal team. And I'm pretty sure, here's one thing you don't do. You don't threaten or try to intimidate Taylor Swift of all people. Like, come on. Again, did you just fall out of a coconut tree? So here's what I think happened. I don't think that they literally were like, ooh, gun to head, let's do this. I think what happened, and like they say in this letter, they specifically used the term intimate. And so what I think it was more of not a direct threat, but more of like a veiled threat of like, listen, if you don't support Blake Lively and you don't come out and issue a statement, in support of her and Ryan Reynolds, then we're going to have to turn over those text messages. And the thing is, we're going to have to turn over all of the text messages. And you never know, those text messages may just end up leaking in the press. You never know. We don't know. Like, I think it was probably a very veiled threat of like, we're just saying, once it gets out there, we can't control it. We can't contain it. But if you work with us and if we are aligned, then we can work together to make sure they don't obtain those text messages. But here's the thing. Taylor Swift's team is actually smart, and I'm sure have seen the Van Zandt Sham lawsuit, the Van Sham lawsuit, as Leanne Newton on Twitter or on X likes to call it, the Van Sham lawsuit. I'm sure have seen all of these dirty practices. I'm sure Taylor's attorneys have combed through Blake's CRD complaint, and they've seen the amended complaint, and I'm sure they've looked at everything and realized Taylor Swift does not, and I'm sure Taylor Swift's team realizes Blake Lively does not have a very strong case. I'm sure they see all of this. And so I believe that it was a very veiled threat, not a direct threat, but more of just like, listen, we want to protect you, but in order to protect you, we need to know that you're on our side. And so to know that you're on our side, hey, by the way, here's a little statement that we think you should release publicly. Where have we seen that before? Oh, yes, that's right. Remember, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively drafted a statement for Jamie Heath and Justin Baldoni to issue publicly about Wayfair, where they were taking accountability for their actions. And Blake and Ryan wanted them to issue that statement, and that's when they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is where we draw the line. We've played your games. We've tried to, see it your way. I was watching this woman, forgive me, I forgot her name. I think Donna sent it to me, or someone sent it to me, or someone reposted it. It was a video. I don't think it had the original creator's handle attached, but it was a repost of a video that a woman who claims she was the daughter of attorneys. She's like, I'm not an attorney, but I was raised by attorneys. And she's like, here's why Blake Lively does not actually have a strong case, is because, or even if she does have a strong case, here's why I think she has a losing case against Baldoni. And she was really arguing the extortion piece, because she said Blake Lively was threatening that she wouldn't promote the film if this list of demands weren't met. And then she was, threatening to not promote the film or to not finish production if she didn't get to work in the editing room. If she did, like, there were all these things that Blake was asking for, which ultimately gave her more, or the PGA mark was another really good one, right? And we even have proof of that because we have the email from Jamie Heath to their Wayfair attorneys saying, hey, we signed this letter, yes, but we want to make it very clear to everybody that this letter has been signed under duress. We do not co-sign. We do not agree with having to write this letter in support of Blake Lively. We wrote this letter and we signed it under duress. So that to me is another very clear example of civil extortion, right? No, there was no money exchange, and that's what the Lively attorneys are trying to argue. Is it's like, well, there was no money exchange. Like, what did they actually gain? You gain access and power and control over the film. It was not yours to have control over. You did not deserve that PGA mark. So we've seen that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have a history of doing stuff like this. They have a history of veiled threats. They have a history of trying to allegedly extort people. I mean, Blake even admitted that on her panel. What was that? Was it Variety or The Hollywood Reporter? Remember that panel she did where she was in that shimmery dress and she was pregnant and she had the white headband on, and she was just like, yeah, I make it clear that I want authorship over a project, but like I don't make that clear up front. I wait until after I get hired as the actress for the movie, and then I, fight for authorship. Interesting. Okay, let's get into Blake Lively's response to all of this, and then let's get into Taylor Swift's new announcement that karma is coming. But before we do, let's get a quick message from our sponsors. Have you seen the latest fluoride headlines and the water supply? Well, the future of oral care isn't fluoride. It's peptides, and the wellness company just launched the first ever peptide paste that regenerate gum tissues, strengthen enamel, and naturally whitens your teeth. It's called Smile, a doctor-formulated breakthrough that works with your body's natural repair process. This advanced formula blends targeted peptides with blue spirulina, aloe vera, and powerful remineralizers to boost blood flow, stimulate collagen, and help rebuild lost gum tissue, all while gently whitening without sensitivity. No fluoride, no peroxide, no artificial dyes, just real clean ingredients that fight bad bacteria and support a healthier mouth from the inside out. Ready to upgrade your oral health? Experience the future of oral care with Smile. And get 15% off plus free shipping on every order. Just head to twc.health/nofilter and use code NOFILTER. Take action today for a healthier tomorrow. That's twc.health/nofilter and use code NOFILTER. Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy, okay? Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick from gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. I like that Protein Plus. I'm trying to be proteined up for summer. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfast, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals pack in the flavor with none of the fuss. Like I said, I'm loving their Protein Plus package. The food is delicious, and it's so nice to just walk in, pop it into the microwave, and be done, and not have to worry about cooking or going to the market, which reminds me, I have to go to the market. But now I have Factor, and at least dinner tonight's covered. Get started at factormeals.com/nofilter50off. That's nofilter50off, and use code nofilter50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code nofilter50off at factormeals.com/nofilter50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Are you sick of drinking your calories or waking up hungover? Having some drinks can be fun, yes, but I'm glad that I found an alternative that lets me feel great in the moment and the next morning. And those are the out-of-office gummies from Soul. You may have seen me post about them on my Instagram, and it's because I really am taking them. I really am enjoying them. Sometimes you just need a little something, right? Something in the middle of the afternoon to help you get through the rest of your inbox, or something at the end of the day to make your evening a little more enjoyable. And that's where today's sponsor, Soul, can help. Soul is a wellness brand that believes feeling good should be fun and easy. Soul specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation. The out-of-office gummies come in 4 different strengths, so you can find the perfect dose for your vibe. Choose a gentle microdose overdose, you can get the perfect buzz, a noticeable high, or if you want the fully lit experience, that's an option too. Plus, Soul has so many other amazing wellness products with or without THC, depending on what floats your boat, including a variety of gummies and capsules that can improve sleep, stress, pain, focus, bloating, and more. Bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Soul today. Right now, Soul is offering my audience, that's you, my audience, 30% off your entire order. Go to getsoul.com, that's GETSOUL, getsoul.com, and use code NOFILTER. That's getsoul.com, promo code NOFILTER for 30% off. Okay, let's dive into, now we saw the original letter from Brian Friedman. Now let's get into what Lively's team wrote in response to Friedman, because they're like, hold on, wait a minute, that's not true, that's not real. Okay, so this is Lively's attorneys responding to Friedman accusing her of witness tampering. Because remember, she was like, you should delete your text messages. That's a big one. Asking Taylor, and a lot of people online were like, well, can't text messages be retrieved? I believe to an extent, yes, messages can be retrieved, but I think that the strategy from Lively's team in encouraging Taylor to delete text messages, it's wild that Taylor even told her attorney that. And her attorney was like, listen, Taylor, you can tell Taylor's like, I'm going to give anything and everything. And that's why I think they just want to do this so that they can prove that Taylor really did not have. And that's been my prediction from the beginning. I don't think Taylor had a strong influence over the film. I think Blake was using Taylor and using Taylor's name. And Taylor was like, listen, nah, you called me your dragon. Watch. Call me your dragon again. Call me your dragon again. Not today, Satan. Okay, so this is Lively's response. Dear Judge Lehman, on behalf of our client, Blake Lively, we respectfully move to strike the letter signed by Mr. Brian Friedman and filed earlier today. That letter, which was not filed with any evidentiary support of any kind, much less anything under oath, falsely accuses Ms. Lively and her counsel of engaging in witness tampering and evidence spoliation based on an undisclosed anonymous source. Ms. Lively requests that the court strike the Friedman letter pursuant to its inherent power to control and to strike material from its docket that is abusive or otherwise improper under the circumstances. Interesting that they seem to be bothered that there's an undisclosed anonymous source. You know who else fucking did that? You, bitch, with your Van Zandt sham lawsuit that had no names attached to it, that had the secret 10 does, that had, a subpoena that went to Stephanie Jones. Like, what? Like, you're still hiding the secret subpoena. You haven't produced it. Like, what is with all this secrecy and hello, you haven't even told us how you found out about this alleged untraceable smear campaign. Like, you're playing with sham lawsuits and secret subpoenas and anonymous sources that helps you dig up information, and that's why you need discovery to help prove your case, because you say you have evidence that you haven't produced, but we don't know, but you're like, wait, but there are other people, we won't tell you what names, but other people will be coming out at trial, other people are going to speak about their experiences, we're not going to give you details about them, we're not going to give you their names, just wait, you wait. Like, fuck off. Literally, fuck off. It should be unnecessary to respond, the letter continues. It should be unnecessary to respond to anonymously sourced, baseless allegations recklessly leveled without any supporting evidence. Hello, how about the alleged untraceable smear campaign? Where's the evidence? You had cherry-picked text messages that you got in a seemingly unethical way. So let's hold the double standards here, right? Anonymously sourced, baseless allegations without any supporting evidence. So it seems like the issue that they have here is that Brian Friedman doesn't have any actual evidence of witness tampering, with exception for this source. Blake Lively, who lives in the world of anonymous sources and baseless allegations without any supporting evidence. Like, hello, that's the whole point of the subpoena. The subpoena is to help gain the evidence. It's the same bullshit you're trying to pull, but now you don't like it because why? The games are being pulled at you. That's why you can leak things to the New York Times, but when Brian Friedman sends raw footage from the set of It Ends With Us, now suddenly, like, that's improper? Please, get the stick out of your ass and get back to reality. Let's continue. It's worth stating for the record, however, that each of the allegations in the Friedman letter is unequivocally and demonstrably false. which is interesting because I believe the terms unequivocally means in a way that leaves no doubt. So they're very clear that there's no doubt about this. It is absolutely 100% false. And then they also say it's unequivocally and demonstrably. Let's see. And demonstrably is in a way that is clear or apparent or capable of being logically proved. So I feel like that's kind of, an oxymoron to put those two words back to back, unequivocally and demonstrably false. Interesting choice of words. As a legal matter, the Friedman letter is improper. Oh, now we're going to talk about improper? Van Sham? Please. It's not even a working LLC. It's closed. Or sorry, not an LLC, incorporation. Please. It's not closed, but I think it's technically not open, right? Didn't it expire or something? It hasn't been used unless they have a sham subpoena that they need to work through, right? Anyway, it does not seek any form of relief, is irrelevant to any motion currently pending before the court, and serves no legitimate purpose. Oh, kind of like this letter here. I mean, you'd love to file things with no legitimate purpose or that are irrelevant to any motion. Remember when you buried Jed Wallace's attorneys in that 800-page filing? It's not useful to the court in any respect. More like your entire fucking lawsuit. Miss Lively filed a letter to which the Friedman letter purports to respond as a courtesy to inform the court about a motion to squash proceedings that Venable commenced in another federal court and to preserve her own right to object to the third-party subpoena, but she did not ask the court to take any action, and her letter did not merit or warrant any response from Friedman, let alone one that purports to manufacture a conspiracy theory in order to obtain communications from opposing counsel via a third party. That's fucking rich. Let's reread this sentence. Let alone one that purports to manufacture a conspiracy theory. Oh, like the untraceable smear campaign in order to obtain communications. Oh, like when you tried to obtain Justin Baldoni and Jennifer Abel and Melissa Nathan's text messages from Stephanie Jones from opposing counsel via a third party. Oh yeah, Stephanie Jones. Funny how the contradictions. Like let's just read this one. The third time's the charm, right? Let alone one that purports to manufacture a conspiracy theory in order to obtain communications from opposing counsel via a third party. I mean, this is fucking rich. Talk about rich, honey. Rich like Steve Sorowitz. Rich Sarowitz. Yeah. Let alone one that purports to manufacture a conspiracy theory in order to obtain communications from opposing counsel via a third party. Wild. The audacity. Wow. The apparent intent of the Friedman letter is to launder scandalous and defamatory allegations about Miss Lively and opposing counsel into the press by abusing the court's docket and avoiding the order requiring attorneys, in this case, to comply with Rule 3.6 of the New York Rules for Professional Conduct. Okay, well, this wasn't sent directly to the press because, remember, the judge said don't hash this out in the press. So Friedman did it in the legal way. Remember, the same way you technically claim that you got the subpoena in a legal way, right? Remember, you're like, it's not improper. We technically did it legally. So Friedman is technically doing this legally by asking for the subpoena and asking the judge to grant the subpoena, allow the subpoena to move forward because they want the evidence. And here's the reason. They're giving more context to the judge as to why they want it. The apparent intent, and then they actually have a footnote that links to two footnotes. The first footnote is the court's local rules do not specify whether a party may make a motion to strike pursuant to a court's inherent authority by letter motion. Miss Lively will convert this letter motion to a formal motion if the court prefers that format. Okay, so you're saying that this letter is basically useless. And then 2, C. Root Styles, Blake Lively threatened to expose Taylor Swift's private text messages unless she publicly sided with her and Justin Baldoni feud by the Daily Mail. Just because the Daily Mail picks it up doesn't mean that Brian Friedman needed to give it to them. Like I said, that Brian Friedman didn't give me the letter. It was available on the docket. it's accessible to the public. So many people are refreshing that docket left and right. Like I said, I get an email from Nikki every single time there's a new filing. Okay, that's how it works. So just because the Daily Mail wrote an article about it doesn't necessarily mean that they were tipped off about this. They're following it just like every other press outlet. Okay, the lively parties continue. The apparent intent of the Friedman letter is to launder. Oh, we already read that. Within minutes of the Friedman letter appearing on the court's docket at 1:50 p.m., media outlets began publishing stories concerning the Friedman letter, including one that posted a 40-plus paragraph article at 1:55 that asserted as a fact that Miss Lively threatened to expose Taylor Swift's private texts unless she publicly sided with her in Justin Baldoni feud. During a hearing on February 3rd, the court explained to the parties that it would intervene if it turns out that this ends up being litigated in the press in a way that would prejudice the opportunity of the parties to a fair trial. The court should properly strike the Friedman letter from the docket to avoid exactly the result it presaged at the initial hearing. Whether to grant or deny a motion to strike is vested in the court's sound discretion. Great. I hope the court sides with the party that's technically right here. Courts have the inherent power to control their docket and strike material that is abusive or otherwise improper under the circumstances. Okay? And so they go on to basically explain how the court works. Ms. Lively reserves the right to move for sanctions consistent with Rule 11 of the Federal Rules of the Civil Procedure in connection with the Friedman letter at an appropriate time. Thank you, Ezra Hudson. This is the letter that she filed. Not shocking. Good for her. Whatever. Of course she's going to file it, right? Because Michael Gottlieb's not going to file it because then he could perjure himself, right? Right? Yeah. Interesting. What a time. What a time. What a time. What a time. Oh, wow. Yeah. What? It's just crazy to me. It's whack-a-doodle time. It is whack-a-doodle time. I love that Blake Lively's like, yes, we can break the rules, but they can't. We can technically be unethical in court, but they can't. I'm not saying that Friedman is unethical. I'm just saying I want to see. I want to know more. I'm sure the judge will be like, wait, is there witness? Because here's the thing. If you're fighting so hard to protect text messages from getting out because they may, in fact, reveal witness tampering, I don't know. That makes me think maybe there's some witness tampering going on. Like, why hide the text messages? Why hide the subpoena? Why hide the Van Sham lawsuit, right? If there's nothing to hide, then why are you hiding? That's my question. Again, if there's nothing to hide, then why are you hiding? Just comply. Be like, here you go. Here are the text messages, and you're not going to find a damn thing in them. Interessante. But what a time. Pattern of behavior for Blake Lively's team. We've already seen this play out so many times. Interesting. Well, I think that's... Oh, the Taylor Swift of it all. That's not the end of it. Okay, so my friend Stu, Chef Stu, shout out to Stu, sent me this morning. And I guess it's a teaser for Taylor Swift. She's supposed to be making an announcement, I believe, at the AMAs, right? When are the AMAs? 2025. The AMAs are Monday, May 26th. So this upcoming Monday, I guess people are expecting, or not this upcoming Monday, the following Monday. Wow. Because we're only the 15th. Yeah, we're only halfway there. So people are anticipating that Taylor Swift is going to make some sort of announcement. And it's probably going to be her new album, right? So this is, I guess, from a teaser video. Let's see if this is posted on Taylor's Instagram. But Stu sent me this. Let's see. Taylor Swift. Also interesting, and be mindful of the fact that Blake Lively, or not Michael Gottlieb, but Ezra, Blake's attorney, filed this letter immediately in response to this information coming out, but noticeably quiet are Taylor Swift's attorneys. Remember, they came out and they issued a statement and they were saying, whoa, Taylor had nothing to do with this. Whoa. Like, we saw at least, 2 statements that came out from Taylor Swift's rep over the last week after she got subpoenaed and it broke news. And now suddenly they have nothing to say. They're noticeably quiet in the past 24 hours. Trust me, if they objected to this, I'm pretty sure they would immediately issue a statement to People Magazine, to TMZ, to the Daily Mail, to whoever. You know that their phones are blowing up with people asking for comment. Noticeably quieter, Taylor Swift's team. I have questions now. Where is this video at? So I guess, was it on her YouTube channel? Let's see. I should just ask you directly. Taylor Swift is yo bestie, Miss Westie. These hoes try to text me. Where did Stu see this video? But okay, so this is it. Let me text you and see. Where is this video? Okay, so Stu texted me, said, imagine if Taylor Swift announces her new album at the AMAs and it's called Karma. Stu's a big Swiftie. He went to like 15 different Eras tours dates. He said it's a possibility. Look at the Karma wall. Karma is the only one not released, yet it's written twice on the wall from her video. Okay, and so if you zoom into this still shot, maybe the Swifties in the live chat can help me, but if you zoom into this, you can see Taylor always has her Easter eggs. You can see 1989 is written here. You can see red. You can see Speak Now. You can see the sign that has a scooter, and it has the no scooters allowed sign, which is obviously a dig at Scooter Braun. Hence that this is an album without Scooter, no Scooter. Got it. Cool. Right above that, you have the word Fearless, which is another one of her albums. You have, and then, so you can see all the different, you have 1989 again, 1989. What is this one down here in the corner? I don't know. I'm sure somebody can crack that code. It says missing if found, return to Taylor Swift. And then in this graffiti wall at the 13th Street station, wasn't 13 one of her albums as well? So these are all different albums of hers. But the only word on this wall that is not an album of Taylor Swift's is Karma. And you can see you have Karma here, and then you have Karma right above it in orange. So you have it in black, and you have it in orange. It's written twice here. And Karma is the only word that is not, that's unlike all the rest, right? Find the thing that's not like all the rest. Well, all these other graffiti words are other Taylor Swift albums, and Karma is not. So people are predicting Karma is the next album. She's likely going to announce it at the AMAs. And not only that, but is this a dig or a subtle dig? I mean, obviously, these things take years to plan and years to make. But, like, could there be some sort of, like, dig at Blake Lively? I mean, I would imagine. Trust me, the way these teams go about the Easter eggs, they go deep, right? So I'm kind of feeling like maybe there's something in it. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Tell me. I have thoughts, I have questions, I have feelings. Drop a comment below. Let me know your theories. And then just a reminder, guys, it's going to be a yummy, yummy summer. You can get your tour tickets right now. The Zacktivated tour. I'm going to be Zacktivated live on stage with a lot of your favorite content creators and some very familiar faces that you will get to see on stage. We have a fun VIP package with a pre-show happy hour. We also have a meet and greet package and our GA package, but I'm coming to Dallas, Phoenix, Philadelphia, Toronto, Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles this summer, but get your tickets right now before they're gone. Go to nofilterlive.com, nofilterlive.com. All right, now let's move into my very special new interview with the Mormon wives. I have Jen Affleck and Miranda. Miranda's the new girl this season. She was the one that was part of the original swinging scandal with Taylor. Remember, that was the whole mom talk scandal of season 1, that Taylor had hooked up with one of her best friend's husbands. And then Taylor's like, well, no, I'm not a homewrecker. We were swingers and we were hooking up with each other. And now we find out that Miranda is the each other. Miranda is the person that Taylor was hooking up with. So, yeah. Tune in. Watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and stay tuned for my Wives Tell All episode, which is dropping this upcoming Monday. All right, guys, welcome back to an all-new episode of No Filter with Zack Peter. I'm excited. I just finished watching the new season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You know, I was obsessed with this show in the first season, and I'm even more excited now. I have 2 new wives that are joining me in studio. Please welcome Jen and Miranda.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
So Miranda, you're the newest wife that's getting added into the mix. You've been in
Yes.
Mom Talk before, but this is your first time on the show.
Yes. Ex-wife, but yes. Yes.
What made you want to join Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
Yeah, there were a handful of things. Obviously, it's so funny because people will make comments all the time about like, oh, you just wanted the clout and you just wanted the money. And I'm like, yeah, I wanted the money. You would too. Like, absolutely. But yeah, that definitely played a role in it. But had I done season 1, my divorce would have been on that season. And so I'm glad that I decided not to. I mean, although it would have made great television, I think that would have been really difficult, especially as my first season. But I think that I'm a completely different person than I was when the whole scandal happened, and I was just ready to kind of just air it all out and face it and hit it head on, and that's exactly what I did, and I think it helped me in my healing process a lot more than I even thought that it would.
Yeah. And Jen, how did you feel having someone new in the mix that can maybe take the heat off of you and Zack?
Oh, yeah, no, I needed a break.
Yeah.
So I was like, thanks,
I'm
Miranda.
like, I got you, girl.
I was like, girl needs a break.
Yeah.
Now, you're coming in off of the swinging scandal, which was like the big piece of season 1 with Taylor kind of outing the swinging.
Yes.
And so you had to come in and face that head on, and you guys had conflicting stories about what had actually went down. Were you nervous about having to confront Taylor?
Yeah, I was definitely nervous, but I also think at that point, I was just so over just running away from it. And I think I had come to terms with things myself, which made it a lot easier to come to terms with things, more publicly and with the women. And so I knew it would be hard conversations, and it was, and it definitely wasn't, linear healing from that and getting to a point where Taylor and I could fully see eye to eye. But I feel like we've had a lot of those necessary conversations, and I feel like I'm very glad that I did, because like I said, I think it's really helped me a lot in my healing process and moving forward and past that phase of my life.
Yeah. Jen, do you feel like all the moms got answers from, did you still have questions going when Miranda first came around about the whole swinging scandal?
You know what? No, I feel like everything was, for the most part, already addressed prior to that. But,
yeah, because you guys had heard a lot from Taylor
yes,
at that point.
Yeah, so
there were some of the women that were a little bit confused about certain things, but I think that, again, throughout those conversations, I feel like you guys were all able to get to the bottom of it. I mean, I think some of them thought that I was, like, I don't know if some of you thought that I, like, had sex with people, or if it was just, like, yeah. I don't know if you thought that, but I know some of the girls thought that maybe I had.
Yeah, I think.
You're like, it was so long ago.
I'm trying to remember. I'm like, pregnancy brain, I can't remember a thing. Like, you might have to repeat the story all over again. I don't remember a thing.
Yeah, I think there was definitely some conflicting stories, and I also feel like it came down to like the emotions of it, where I felt differently. I felt like things happened differently than Taylor did, and we just we were not good at communicating that. And I think that once we did fully have those conversations and lay it all out, it became more clear, like, why one person felt one way and why someone felt the other way. Like, with her coming out and saying that everyone was hooking up with everyone. Well, I'm like, I wasn't hooking up with anyone. That's not at all what happened. And she's like, well, when I say hooking up, like, I just meant making out. I'm like, well, that's not what hooking up means to me. So I think there was just a lot of miscommunication there, that then when the internet takes that and runs with it, then there's this whole narrative that spins out of control. And then it's not, at that point, it's not really like either one of our narratives. It's just like people are running with these stories all over, and you still kind of take that on. Like, I still felt like I took on guilt and shame for things that I didn't even do to a degree. So it was very refreshing being able to clear all of that up once and for all.
Do you feel like the other moms felt like your answers kind of put them at ease? Because I feel like some of them were judging, whether or not you were truly coming back because you wanted to be a part of the group, or you just wanted to be on Hulu.
I mean, it took a little bit of time, for sure. I mean, I'm sure you'll probably see that, or I'm sure you have seen that. Not everyone was gung-ho for it from the beginning, and I think I get it. I totally do. I was trying to hold space for that and understand their reservations, while also trying to be true to myself and also be honest with the fact that I'm like, yeah, is there a level of it that I am here for the fact that I'm a single mom and it's a great opportunity, and also like I went through a lot of trauma in this situation that it's like I not that I'm owed this experience by any means, but I feel like I went through a lot. I might as well make lemonade out of lemons type of situation. And but I was upfront with the girls about that from the beginning, where I'm like, yeah, that's definitely an added benefit. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the only and sole reason why I wanted to come back.
Jen, did you give her any advice joining this group?
Yeah, I just
You actually probably gave me the most.
Yeah,
in the beginning.
it's not easy being in a hot seat, and I feel like for the most part, at some point, all of us have been in the hot seat, and it's definitely not fun. And this group really is like a group of a lot of intimidating, or the group can be intimidating, and so yeah. But I feel like she handled it like perfectly in the best way. Better than I would have, honestly.
What made you want to come back, considering, I mean, the internet was dragging your relationship. Everybody was out for Zack. What made you guys even want to sign up for this again?
Honestly, to just like share the reality of what was going on. Honestly, the whole point of me going on reality TV in the first place was just show like my life and show the reality of like what happens. And obviously I wasn't expecting season 1 to turn out the way that it did, but I definitely think that even though it's really hard to expose your relationship to the world, I definitely think that there's a lot of good that can come from it. And because of it, like Zack and I have grown more than ever in our relationship. And so, yeah, I feel like I've learned so much, and it's hard being in our shoes. It's hard being vulnerable, but I would rather be in the arena than in the stadium. I'd rather be the person, in the lion's den than be the one talking, and so that's kind of what I'm doing, and it's scary.
Having to watch your relationship back on TV, though, did that make you see things differently? Especially when it came to Zack, 'cause I feel like maybe there were some times where you excused some of his behavior, but then when you see it from a more objective lens, do you feel like that helped you analyze your marriage differently?
Oh, after season 1?
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I think for him more than anyone, he was forced to look in the mirror, and so was I during season 2. I think being on the show has made us both realize we both have a lot of flaws, and in order to make a marriage work, you both have to show up, you both have to put in effort, and yeah, it's hard, facing the truth sometimes about yourself, but sometimes it takes that to be a better version of yourself.
Do you feel like he's changed at all?
Oh, absolutely.
For the better?
Yes, night and day difference. I mean, you'll see in season 2, you'll see in future seasons, it's very clear. And I mean,
I feel like I've even noticed a shift, and I didn't know him well, but I feel like I can even just see it.
Yeah, well, and not only that, I mean, obviously people are going to have their opinions always, and maybe there will be some people that won't have their opinion changed about him, but yeah, no, I truly feel like he's made a lot of changes, and it's taken a lot of therapy, though. It wasn't an overnight thing. It's taken like a lot of work and therapy, and I'm really proud of him. So,
do you feel like you guys are breaking the Mormon stigma by sharing your lives on TV and kind of just breaking the I guess stereotypes that a lot of people have, like you're all swingers, right? You're all, polygamy is what you do when you talk.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, me and Taylor were the only ones that were like involved in the swinging scandal, but I do think that, yeah, I think that it shows that it's okay to be flawed, and that even from a religious standpoint, right? None of us are perfect, and although I don't really practice the religion anymore, I know there are a lot of the women in the group that do, but I think that there is obviously a lot of judgment and shame and guilt that can come with being in a high demand religion.
Yeah.
which is a huge reason why I wasn't forthcoming about what I was or wasn't involved in the scandal in the first place. And I think that the show does show a lot of that, you know, the positive and the negatives that can come from being in a high demand religion, and that none of us are perfect, those who are active and those who are not. And, you know, we're just human, we're women, we're mothers, and we're just trying to navigate life and showing, you know, every part of that.
Yeah. And we're going to see it all play out on season 2. It's juicy. Streaming now on Hulu. Guys, you have to go in and watch. I binged the first 3, and I can say I think it's better than season 1.
I think it's better than season 1, and I haven't even seen
You're
it.
like, it's because I'm in it.
I'm like, it's me.
Season 2 is
No,
the
it's
best.
just
You
it
do
just seems
come in like
juicier.
a wrecking ball, though.
Thank you. I'll
So-
take it. I'm like, for better or for worse. No, I think just from the trailer alone, it just seems intense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I sweat every time I look at the trailer. I'm like,
You're like, I'm gonna throw up.
I'm like, oh my
Well, and the new intro with you guys in the water.
Oh, I
intro's
know.
That
great.
was very sexy. Like, I was even turned on by it.
Right?
Definitely way better than the temple walk.
Oh,
Yes,
Where we
holding
felt
hands.
culty. I was like, it is not
Blue.
giving sexy and empowering. This season it is.
Yes.
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 All right, guys. Love you. Appreciate you. Ciao for now. Talk to you tomorrow.